everyone, Nut Free Mama here. Today I'm going to show you how to make zucchini muffins with lemon glaze. And we're right here in our garden where we picked our zucchini. Alright, let's start off with our ingredients. First, you are going to need 2 eggs, and we are going to make sure those are beaten well. You're going to need a half a cup of vegetable oil, 1 cup of sugar, 1 cup of raw grated zucchini. So what I basically did was used a cheese grater for mine, and this is zucchini that we grew out in our garden. Now I did cut the skin off and the ends off and then just use the grater. You do not have to cut the skin off though. This recipe just called for it, but the skin leaves a pretty green color if you leave it on there. So then we also need a half a teaspoon of vanilla extract, a half a teaspoon of lemon juice, or you could use fresh lemon, 1.5 cups of flour, a half a teaspoon of baking soda, and a half a teaspoon of salt, and 1/8 teaspoon of baking powder. I have that all in just one big bowl right here. And then for the lemon glaze, we're going to need a half a cup of powdered sugar, 1 teaspoon of lemon juice, and then a half a tablespoon of milk. A half a tablespoon of milk. I don't have that out yet. And like I said, I am going to make muffins, but you could also make a loaf of bread if you wanted to do that instead. So what we are going to do is preheat our oven to 350 and then spray your cupcake tins or muffin tins or your loaf pan if you want to use a loaf pan. And I would spray that pretty good with cooking spray or use, Crisco or something like that. Alright, so let's start off by beating our eggs, oil, and sugar with an electric mixer until it's nice and combined. Alright, that looks good. So next we're going to add in our zucchini, vanilla, and lemon, and then we're just going to combine that until it's incorporated. Alright, that looks good. So go ahead and whisk all your dry ingredients into your other bowl. And then we're going to add the dry to the wet slowly. Alright, that looks good. I just went ahead and used my whisk for this step because you really don't want it to be over stirred. You really just want it to be moistened and everything to be incorporated in there. So now we're going to go ahead and fill up our cupcake tins. Alright, these are all ready to go into the oven. They're about 2/3 of the way full, and I was able to make 12. So we're going to stick those in the oven at 350 for 22 to 25 minutes or until a toothpick comes out clean. Alright, these are out of the oven. Mine cooked for probably about 22 minutes, 23 minutes maybe. But I got them out of the oven and let them cool in the pan for a few minutes before I transferred them to this wire rack. They came out really easy. I just used a butter knife and went around the edges. And now let's go ahead and let these cool and we will make the glaze. Oh yeah, you want to be sure that you put them on top of either parchment paper or wax paper because we are going to drizzle this glaze everywhere and it could make a big mess. Alright, for the glaze, it's just a half a cup of powdered sugar, a half a tablespoon of milk, and a half a teaspoon of lemon juice. And I'm just going to stir that all together and then pour it over top of the muffins. Alright, that glaze is never going to pour. We're going to add another half of a tablespoon of milk. Alright, I went ahead and poured my glaze over top, and these just smell so good. I did add a lot more lemon juice, so I used probably a whole teaspoon of lemon juice, maybe a little more. So just, stir it and mess around with it. And then I also used a whole tablespoon of milk, maybe even a tablespoon and a half, just until it gets to the consistency that you want it. So now we are going to go ahead and let these set up for a few minutes, and then we'll see what Taste Tester thinks. Alright, let's see what Taste Tester thinks. Alright, Taste Tester, go ahead and have a little taste, please.
Yum. Yum.
Do you like it?
Yes.
Alright, everyone, come back and see us again, and don't forget to like and subscribe.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Bye.
Bye.